So I'm gonna do a little ab workout while talking about little random kind of talking about how having nostalgia for moments that actively I wanted to get out of. If that makes sense. That's what I'm really just gonna do ab workout while I'm doing this, because why not? You can do it along if you want. I don't even think anyone's gonna watch this, but yeah, I literally just did on my other channel thing. I did a wall sit for the past 30 minutes, which is the most painful thing. Like, don't do it unless you want to go through pain. But yeah, so oh shoot, okay, doing this little thing, little flutter kicks. What I do is I do this, then I do these ones, and I do these ones. But yeah, so it's back when in like college or whatever, going through the process of loss and all that stuff. There was a point in time for like 2.5 years where I really did not want to be there. Like I really like college and all that stuff. Like I had great friends and great community and stuff like that, but I did not want to be in that spot for longer than I had to. And there was like little like glimmers. Like I love playing like intramural sports, or I love like, I don't know, walking around like by the lake or doing like little bits and pieces, hanging out with friends, obviously. But it like very quickly throughout that time it got old, and it got like really recycled and repeated. And over time, that kind of just made it tough to want to stay in it. And so, although there was like little bits and pieces, I would spend like 99% of the time wishing I was somewhere else. And I wouldn't put the lights on in my room or pretend like it was nighttime, even during the morning, so that I could like act like I was not there, try to feel like I was somewhere else. And that was really a constant thread of my life for the longest time. Then fell in love, like start of senior year, and then it suddenly, the rest of that year, honestly, even that year in itself was not all that enjoyable. Like it was a pretty tricky one, but I ended up doing it, and now like it's been like over a year since I graduated, and I keep coming back to that moment. Like I had like 8-9 months in California, and then completely breezed past that. Don't think about that. But I get super nostalgic about being at college, being in Tempe, doing all that stuff. And even though it was during the moment, like I wanted to be out so bad, it's so strange. I remember even after like I was in love and all that stuff, even when like she left and she went off, did her own thing, the girl I was in love with, I like those moments were like really tough. So it really was a very short period of time where I was actively like happy, like really like chilling. But when I look back, it seems like it was all that, and that I'm missing out on what I had. But then I like think back and I'm like, that really wasn't, that was like really tough in the moment. That was like, there's a reason why I was thinking the way I was and stuff like that. But it's so easy to have these like rose-colored glasses on these moments that were in reality like really really tough, and like I barely got through them. So I'm like, it's so strange. I think that's what happens when you have like one or like you have a few moments that are like really good in a time that's like really tough, is that you latch on to those moments and you kind of use those moments as a way to remember what that time was, even though that time was a lot different. Like it's like how like sometimes with like lost family members or something like that, you remember the good times, but you don't remember the bad or something like that. Maybe you don't do that, maybe that's whatever. But like my dad was around for 19 years, and I only remember specific positive moments from it. Like that's kind of what I latch on to. And it's just like, I feel like that's what mine did for I don't know how to film this part, but I think it's what my mind did for the whole college experience and stuff like that. Even though like it actively was very tough. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, and it was just very numbing and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, I don't know, it's just strange, because I feel like traditionally nostalgia is supposed to be for times that were like genuinely like really good, like the good old days and stuff like that. And maybe college in a way was one of those times in my life where it was, but trust me, if that's the case, and that's a bit, I don't know if that's a great sign for us to come, because there was good moments, but it wasn't like whatever. So to be nostalgic about that, something seems a bit off. Like I can see being nostalgic about certain things, but being nostalgic about all that stuff is kind of a little crazy. And so that's why I'm trying to rewire my brain to be excited about the future and what's to come and stuff like that, versus just living in that past, living in those, like, those sparse, use a big word, sparse memories that were really good. But no, I don't know, it's just really weird, because if I went back in time and I went back to like 2022, or I went back to one of those, whatever, outside of the times I was around, like falling in love and all that stuff, I would be like, oh yeah, I can see why I didn't like this. But like the way I'm thinking about it all this time later is that, oh, it was all great and stuff like that. And it's weird how the mind can do that kind of stuff, like just think that things were great when in reality they weren't, just because, like, I feel like a lot of times maybe like toxic relationships that happens where like the spouse or whatever will only remember the good times and see past all the crazy shit they do and stuff like that, if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, I that's hurting, but no, it's I don't really know how much like I get to talk about the stuff, because it's just, I feel like I'm just talking in circles. But yeah, no, having nostalgia about like stuff that was in the moment, something I wanted to escape out of, makes me think about the times I'm in right now and think, oh shoot, like these are like tougher than I anticipated. Because what I anticipated is that, okay, I would go through that experience, which was in itself like obviously a lot of people go through a lot tougher things, but in my case it was really, really tough. And so I thought, okay, going through really tough time, graduate, go off and do something. I know it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, challenging, but there's probably gonna be something in me that's like, okay, this is the thing I want to do, or oh, like it does this X, Y, and Z. But what it did is I went and did that whole experience, and it wasn't like I like chickened out, or like I kind of just did the whatever 9 months experience of doing that and stuff like that. And it was like, you know, like stuff can be tough or stuff can be hard and stuff like that. But when it feels wrong, like when it doesn't feel like, okay, this is the path I want to be on in terms of like, oh, I want to live there, do this, well, when that hits, it's a lot tougher, because then you don't really have a solution necessarily for it, because you're just like, oh shoot, like I gotta do this because I'm whatever lease and all that stuff. But I'm like, dang, it's like, I mean, it's really tricky, because in my mind I thought it was gonna be a lot different, and I don't even necessarily mean thought it was gonna be something great. Ooh, grab this. I just thought I thought that it was maybe going to make me want to be there or do stuff and stuff like that. So when that didn't happen, and when my mind reverted back to the times in Tempe and stuff like that, it kind of screwed me up, because I was always thinking in Tempe of what I was actually doing out there, that was gonna be the thing I was thinking about and wanting to stay in. But reverting back is like, oh dang, like so this really isn't what I thought it was gonna be, and that's played with my mind a lot. Like I journal a few times a day and stuff like that, and every time I just keep writing about those moments and that stuff. I never seem to write about the time in California, those 9 months, even though it was like pretty pivotal stuff, because of the fact that it was kind of just like nothingness, because of the fact that I was very uninspired. And maybe that's partially because I was on my own a lot of the time, and maybe I should have made more effort to be around, make friends and stuff like that out there. But like, it just, I don't know, no matter what I did, like I did little things and bits and bobs, like join clubs and stuff like that, it just wasn't doing it. And so then this picture of what my college life really was makes it seem a lot better, because of how tough it was and how like uninspired I felt there. But I don't know, it's tricky, and I guess in a sense it's almost like a good thing, because if it's like, okay, I know I can handle harder than I did in Tempe, so I know I could take more than I thought, but it also makes me think, okay, what should I do to not put myself in a position again to where, like, okay, I'll put myself in tough situations, take risks, all that stuff, but not just drain myself, not just completely whatever, and just moving forward. So to anyone out there who feels nostalgic about stuff that they were like, I don't quite remember that being great in the moment, and you're like, whatever, usually it's a sign that what you went in or what you've done after is a lot worse. I don't know how else to explain it, but so honestly, although that in itself is not fun, at least you know that you can handle worse, and it honestly makes me more encouraged for the future, because I'm like, okay, so I did that, experienced all that, and I was put in a whatever spot, so now that I can do a lot more, like there's a lot more I can take. And so looking forward, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take more risks, do more stuff because of the fact. So I don't know how that connects to the nostalgic stuff, but I think it's honestly going through that kind of process is almost a good indicator of what's to come in the future and stuff like that. So to anyone out there who's struggling to be present, live in the past, and also just take it day by day. It's tough. It's not always gonna be easy. I struggle with it a ton. So just be focused on what you're doing right now and not worry too much about what I had or whatever, no matter what the situation is, and just push on ahead and just keep going. Hopefully this helps. I don't know if it does, but have a nice day.